Hey everyone, my name is Courtney Snow. I am the founder of the Ohio Kentucky Mom Collectives, and I own the Cincinnati and Dayton, Ohio Mom Collectives, as well as the Lexington and Louisville, Kentucky ones. For anybody else that loves to travel and get away, especially with family, we have partnered with Newman Daily Properties, and they invited one of the families from our team to go on behalf of our Cincinnati market, as well as then my family on behalf of the Louisville market. So Newman Daily set us up with amazing houses down there. We stayed at the Sunkissed Cottage. It is a pet-friendly property. We ended up not bringing our dog because fortunately my dad was feeling up to going with us. My stepmom recently retired, and my dad in the last year had 2 heart attacks and a stroke. So we were really grateful that he had gone through his last procedure and he was feeling up to making the trip with us. So it is technically about 10-11 hours of driving time. You have to add a couple hours of time on for the bathroom breaks and getting food and all that. But we drove straight down, spent almost 4 full days, and then drove back up. We packed a lot into that trip and we cannot wait to go back. When I started telling people that we were going down to Destin, which I'd never thought of going to because I used to live in Orlando and Tampa. I've got a lot of family that's been in Tampa forever. So if we were down there, it was going to Miami or the Keys. We were going to Clearwater Beach. So going to the other side of Florida was not something I'd ever thought about. I do have to say it is my new favorite part of Florida. When people told us that the beaches were incredible and you will never see sand like that, they were right. When we first walked onto the beach, which by the way, we could walk just a couple blocks from the house we were in and be right on the beach. And my daughter, who's 14, she asked me if it was man-made sand because it was that perfect. And I told her, no, this is just how the sand is. It was incredible. I just have to say, you have to go down there for yourself. Newman Daily owns properties all over down there. And if you ever just done straight through Airbnb or looked up properties, there are some good places down there. But the fact that Newman Daily has 24-hour concierge service, like the house that we were in, we were the first ones in there since they redid the kitchen. And we couldn't find the coffee maker at first, and we did finally find it. However, when I had told the lady at Newman Daily, she was like, oh my goodness, if you hadn't found it, we would have sent somebody to the store, bought you one, and dropped it off at the house. It wasn't just because they had invited us to come down. That's just the service that they offer. They left us a beautiful welcome bag when we got there. So we got some Newman Daily swag, which is really nice. They do everything first class all the way. I mean, I'm going to try and keep this as structured as I can. However, I also just want to give you an authentic overview of our experience. I mean, we could walk to grocery stores. I mean, we didn't have to use much gas at all. Definitely, if you've ever been to Florida, it's definitely like Florida, like highways to go up and down. But where we were right off of the beach was just incredible. Everything you could go to. We went to an inn that Newman Daily just took over. That's actually like you cross over the street and you're on the beach. It's a great spot. They just did a whole bunch of renovations. So if you're looking for something smaller, more affordable, or if you want a romantic getaway, my husband and I are definitely going to go and stay down there next. But they have this little cafe underneath. And so my daughter and I got breakfast the first morning. We got some coffee and stuff with Tracy from Newman Daily, and they're just really cool. They had like live music in the evenings playing there on the corner. So what did we do? The first night, we went and found some really good food that was on us, and right next door was a Winn-Dixie, which we hadn't been to in forever. So we kind of sporadically and a little chaotically grabbed a bunch of groceries for what we thought we would need to make for breakfasts and like lunches and whatever while we were in the house. So we did that. And then the next day, we were treated to dinner at the Crab Trap, which is right on the ocean. The service there was incredible. Food was amazing. We actually got to watch the sunset, like as we were finishing our dinner. So definitely recommend them. We had the most amazing server I think I've ever had in my life. She was, yeah, incredible. We also, while we were there for the few days, we went to the track, and Newman Daily gave us a couple gift cards to do some things. So we did the arcade part, which was pretty cool. But after we went to the track and they did the go-karts, my husband and daughter did it. They got second place. We definitely would probably recommend that you go to the track. So yeah, we were really grateful for the gift cards to be able to try that out. That was a lot of fun. We also went to a sunset dolphin cruise, and the Cattywampus crew, Captain Tony and then Christian, they were just amazing. They were just really personable, took really good care of everybody. They had some good jokes. My dad laughed at them, but we saw a couple dolphins like really briefly. Everybody kept screaming, like, oh, there's one over there. But I didn't catch any on camera, at least that I haven't like seen as I went through the footage. But it just was an amazing experience to just be in the ocean and going along the coast and going under bridges. And in the summer they do fireworks as well, which would be really cool. But it went out of the Gulf restaurant, and it's made out of like shipping containers, and it's just something I'd never seen before. But it was wonderful, and the people were all really great. So we were grateful for that experience because Newman Daily treated our whole family to that. There's also, when you drive down a little bit, one of the nights everybody wanted Whataburger, because you can't get that up in the Midwest. So we had stopped for that. Also, they've got like a whole like little outlet like strip mall, and their Skechers was there. I think it's by Simon Mall, because Newman Daily gave us a $50 gift card to go shopping towards some of our shopping there. But my stepmom loves Skechers. I just got hip to the slip-ins. I kept calling them the slip-ons until my husband corrected me. So they're slip-ins, and they actually have some really cute styles. So I had wanted to get another pair. We surprised my stepmom and got her first pair of slip-ins. So we used our gift card towards that. And so that was cool. Oh, Emerald Coast e-bikes. They are brand new down in Destin, and they had just had their grand opening while we were down there that weekend. And so they dropped off a few bikes for my husband and my daughter and me to go ride around on. It was our first time on e-bikes, but they have where you can drop them off, you can pick them up. They provide you the bike locks for them. One thing that we learned is if riding them at night to hold the up arrow on the left-hand side so you can turn on the headlights, because we couldn't figure it out and we had to ask them while we had it. But it was a great like family bonding time. We went out and just drove along on the sidewalk part, like right before the ocean. Did that a lot. And then at the evening, it's just such a great area where a lot of the Newman Daily houses are off of Scenic Highway 98. And so we just took the time and just like rode around, got a little brave and like got our speed higher. But now they're both asking if we can get e-bikes for home. So now we got a budget to put aside money to get e-bikes. Emerald Coast e-bikes, they do offer a huge discount if you are booked at a Newman Daily property. So that's really cool as well. While we were down there, next to the arcade is Fudpucker's restaurant, and there's also where they've got the little alligators. My stepmom had a lot of fun checking that out with us. She got one of their t-shirts. She thought they were just a riot. Also, if you have not been to a Buc-ee's, they are not sponsoring this video in any way. We are just in love with Buc-ee's. We thought it sounded kind of crazy when people first told us we had to go to one. And so about a year and a half ago, we went to our first one. And there is nothing like it. You can get souvenirs. We love the food that they have. And down when you're going through, so if you're coming from Ohio or Kentucky and you're going down to Destin, there is one in Alabama. It's like a perfect stopping point to fill up and get gas. And I think we actually made like the whole, like when we left, we filled up from Destin. And then when we got back to the spot in Alabama, it was just in time to fill up the tank again. So kind of like a full tank of gas, I guess, depending on what gas mileage you get. But they have at that location, which we hadn't seen yet, is a car wash. That is the longest, most cool car wash I've ever seen. And I'm really glad that we have a sunroof on our car, because they even project flowers with the Bucky face in it, and it goes across the top of the car, so we could even like see it with the, not the sunroof open, but just we had the window part exposed. So that was really cool. So you have to check out Buc-ee's if you haven't. So if you're doing a road trip to go down to Destin or anywhere down south, they've been popping up more in Kentucky, depending on which way you're going, but you should definitely find a Buc-ee's. And so if you want some souvenirs that are reasonably priced when you're down in Destin, Alvin's Island, there are a ton of them down there. And my oldest brother-in-law, his name is Alvin. We all call him June, but we just kept making jokes that like, oh, like Alvin has islands all over the place. But we did go in there and got a couple things. So that was a really cool place you could check out while you're down in Destin. But if you are wanting to stay at the Sunkissed Cottage where we did, we loved the pool out there. They do have the option that you could add on to get it heated. They had a propane grill out there, so we grilled out on the last night that we were there as we watched the sunset and got ready to leave the next day. But there was plenty of room for everybody. The wraparound porches were gorgeous. It was great that my stepmom has to be on crutches, and there was a full bedroom and bathroom right there on the main floor, so she didn't have to do any stairs. And then they had 2 huge bedrooms. So my husband and I had one on the 2nd floor, and then my dad had the other one. And then they even have a 3rd floor, like loft bedroom with 360 view with the windows up there. And so our daughter stayed in that one. So there was plenty of room for everybody. Even if we had more people with us, like the couch turned it into a sofa bed. They had smart TVs in every single room. The appliances were great. It was just a really cool experience. We liked how it was decorated. So we will definitely link that in the blog post that goes along with this that you can get down below. But if you are looking up properties, I would say, like, even if you found it on Airbnb or you wanted to do some more research on like one of those sites like that, we recommend going directly through Newman Daily. They have so many properties, and I mean, they have stuff working with all different types of budgets, like what size you need, like different accommodations. So I would definitely go directly to their website and do your searches and go through them, because you're going to make sure that you get that service. They have a portal that you get when you book directly through them. So it made sure we had our codes for when we got there, and then also like our checkout codes, and made sure that there was like that open line of communication. So if we needed anything, also the local owners of properties, so whether Newman Daily manages it, and owns it, or if they're just managing it for a local owner, it makes sure that more money goes back to that local owner instead of just through third-party processing fees. It also will end up saving you money to book directly through Newman Daily. So when you do plan your next trip down to Destin, make sure that you go through them first class all the way. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this content, make sure to click the like button, share with a friend, and hit the bell to subscribe and be notified when we have new stuff to share. Doesn't cost anything, so why not? Scan the QR code to be taken to our site and see all the new stuff that we put out every week.